7 characteristics of life. And I think one of the neatest characteristics of life and the necessities of living is that it is made of cells. And Brittany is now going to show you the neatest tree you've ever seen.
Would you like this neat tree? Little do you know, it's multicellular, which means it has a lot of cells, and without cells you can't live. Hey, with that, let's get to the next characteristic of life. This is universal genetic code.
For that, Brittany, now we're going to go on universal genetic code. And universal genetic code is pretty much all living things have DNA or RNA, which is pretty much a program of your genetic material.
Hello, DNA is my hair. My hair. DNA is in your hair, skin, and body. It contains all my characteristics of my genetic makeup.
So neat. Now, third characteristic of life is your metabolism. All chemical reactions carried by an organism must take in energy. Organisms have 2 kinds of metabolisms. There's autotrophs, which make their own food, and heterotrophs that eat other organisms to gain food. Autotrophs either use light energy from the sun to make food or uses chemicals to make food. Heterotrophs like us, carnivores, herbivores, and decomposers eat others' organisms to produce energy for themselves to live. An example of your metabolism is when you take in your food to gain energy.
Characteristic of life is evolution. Evolution is when an organism adapts to the environment to survive.
Matt, no! Oh my god! Matt, why do you do that? Oh my god, Matt. Oh my god.
The next characteristic of life is homeostasis, which is maintaining a stable internal environment despite the external environment, like keeping a temperature right, water balance, pH, or blood sugar. An example of that for us would be like drinking water, to make sure that our water level is at the same as it is all the time.
The next characteristic of life is responding to stimuli. This means your body has to keep a stable internal environment, like sweating when you're hot or drinking to make sure you have enough water, and even to get out of imminent danger.
Neat was that. Now Brittany's going to show you an example of someone in imminent danger trying to get out the way. How neat was that wildlife, which is really just Brittany's brother. Another very important characteristic of life is reproduction. Reproduction is the process of making offspring, and without offspring you could never continue your species. There's 2 different kinds of reproduction. There's sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is like with plants, how they release pollen in the air, why my nose is so stuffy all the time, to pass it on to another flower to then make other babies. Asexual would be like when a piece of a sponge underwater breaks off and it forms into a whole nother organism.
The last characteristic of life is grow, develop, and die. This is a life cycle where different organisms grow and develop through their life. For example, unicellular organisms can only have 1 cell, and multicellular organisms have more than 1. The process in which they grow are, they come into the world, they grow rapidly and then slow down, then follows maturity, which the body will repair itself, and then the decline where an organism can no longer repair themselves.
What was that, Brittany?
That's pretty neat.
Wow! What a beaut!